Hi and welcome back. So continuing this part 2 for the previous video, what we have learned was how we can create a form in Angular and how we can transform that form later into the NGRX world. Who am I? I'm Siddhartha Verma. I'm really fond of technologies. Very passionate. I've achieved many things in life and still learning a lot of things. For more on that, you can check out my channel and you can learn more about me. But for now, let's continue with this thing. So here in this world, we have the username, we have the password from this dot username, and we want to attach some validation over here. So what we ideally should be the solution that to this, you need to then assign something like this. We can now do this dot username form control will be equal to new form control, something like this, where I then specify what validators do I require. So this form by default will have a null value and the validators would be validators dot required. This value is required. Now same goes for the password field. So password form control, new form control, null validators dot required, something like this. Now I can also provide validators dot email, okay, and validators dot min length, and the min length should be 6 in my case. Okay, so we save this thing. There are many and many things what we can do for the validation, but for now I will keep this logic simpler so that you understand the core important logic of transformation. But this is how something will look like in action. Okay, now we have the validation in place. That means here I can check here if if this dot user form dot invalid, then I can say alert, or I have this flags here is error. I can say this dot is error is equal to true, and then I can show my message onto the screen where I have provided that scenario. Your form values were saved, but we have this error saving the form, error saving the form values, okay, invalid credentials, then we can show this message likely. So if we go to our TS file over here, yeah, we set this true and we can return our file. Okay. If this is not the case, then we set this dot is error to false, because might be that we have deal with this. But again, if we see error saving the values, invalid credentials. Okay. And what I can do now, uh, I can do something like go to the file, to your template file, and here I can then specify this one, uh, alert danger, receiving the form, and here I can specify button like this button, and the button will then do a reset, and here I can do call class, which is btn and btn danger, and I can then save this thing. Okay, and then what this button is going to do is it's going to reset form and then also reset my error. So here I can then call the method reset form, and here what now I'm going to do is this dot user form dot reset. I'm going to call the reset method, and with this I'm also going to specify this dot uh, is error back to false. So this is my is reset in action. I can then press click, and on this click I then wanna sorry, oops, I wanna then link my this function. I wanna call it. whenever this scenario is there. Let's format the bit of the code, could be T as well, and here. Now, if I click on this, I can call the reset and everything resets. And I can show you this thing. If I just remove this thing, I save, I can reset, and it will eventually reset. Uh, this is not resetting because we till now haven't attached any controls to it, but I will now show you how to attach. I can now say form control, and now I can specify the control, which is the username form control. The same thing can be done if I attach the form control to the password field, which says password form control like this. And now you see if I write something, if I try to save, if I try to reset, everything gets resetted. Absolutely neat, perfect. Now, once all of these things are done, I have my form values, and if everything is correct, I can then log my username. I can then log my username and password. And if this is there, then I can set my is submitted to true. And if is submitted is true, uh, and then I can majority of my logic is done for now. So if I say admin 123, I save my form, it still says error saving the form. Why? Let me check. Yeah, because if you see my requirements, it's email. Okay, so it should be at the rate gmail.com. And now if I save, you see your form was saved. Okay. One more thing, what I realized here, instead we should have always have is error to false, because we aren't, that means your errors are not there and everything is perfect with your code. Let's try one more time. I then say, let's say Siddharth at the rate gmail.com, and password should be 12345. If I say 5, I have to save the form because my validation says I should have 6 length. I then provide 6 length, and you see your form values were saved, and I can then see my real values being logged onto the screen. So this was pretty much it regarding this video. Here we saw how we can connect a form, what all things are required, and how things are happening in a normal Angular world. Now, in the next part of this video, which is going to be the part 3, we are going to introduce to you the NGRX store, and how you can create some other things in order to incorporate some logic, and then the same behavior won't be available through through all of these things, but the same behavior will be logged in with NGRX stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will now see you in the next one.